Good morning, my dear students. My name is Polaj Vishwas, Assistant Professor, JIS College of Engineering, Kolani, Department of Mechanical Engineering. And today lecture is the Zero Defect program, and this is the lecture number 17. And the subject is the Quality and Reliability Engineering. And also given to this my contact numbers and any type of problems during to my lecture, and also you have to contact with me. And a few outlines also will be here during to this the zero defect, the what do we mean by the zero defects, and the zero defects and the pros and cons also will be concentrated, and also the Six Sigma approach for the Six Sigma doctrine asserts, and also also will be here the Lean Six Sigma will be discussed during to this lecture, and also the what is the zero defects, and you have to concentrate according to this the what is the zero defects, and each and every manufacturing unit concentrate according to this the zero defect, that like there is the no defect consideration according to this your production, and either your products not will be good the fame will be comes in our the environment, just like our the society, and for the each and every production unit you have to consider according to this the zero defects. But the what is the zero defects or the ZD was the management led programs to eliminate defects in industrial production that enjoyed the brief popularities in American industry from the 1964 to the early 1970s. The quality expert Phillips the Crosby later incorporates it into his absolute of quality management, and it enjoyed a renaissance in the American automobile industry also will be considered according to this as a performance goal more than as a program in the 1990s. And although the applicable to any types of enterprise, the any types of enterprise also will be considered, and this will it has been primarily adapted within the supply chains whatsoever the large volume of the components are being purchased. The common items such as nuts and the bolt are the goods example also will be here, and this will be considered the all the any type of industry this will be required for this zero defect, just like your the production unit, as like your the servicing unit also will be here. The you have to give to this the zero defects, and during to your the customer, then your customers will be the fully satisfied during to this type of programs also will be here. The and also the concept of zero defects in the quality management by um, uh, simply launch also will be there. Last updates in the June 28th is the 2019, and also the one from the 140434 zero defects also will be considered according to the last June 2019 also will be found. The it terms the coined by the Mr. Phillips the Crosby in his book the absolute of this the quality management also will be considered. He is emerged as a popular and highly regarded concept regarded concepts in the quality management also will be here. So much so that the Six Sigma is adapting, that like the Six Sigma is adapting it as one of its the major theories also will be here. Unfortunately, the concept has also faced a fair degree of Christians, with some arguing that a state of zero defects also will be here, and simply cannot exist also will be the considered according without the zero defects on your the product and in the environment. Others have worked hard to prove the measures wrong, and pointing out that the zero defects in quality management does not the literally mean perfections also will be considered according to this the zero defect, but rather refers to a state where waste is the eliminated and the defects are reduced, and basically you have to consider according to this the waste is the eliminate, and or the defects are reduced, and sometimes you have to the consider according to your the waste type of products will be the much more, then your company is not will be the stable during to this the long time, because of the you have to concentrate your the waste product. This product is the not accepted in our the in our the markets, and also the this will be returned to this the company, and also the all things also will be the wastage. what you have to literally, that does not literally mean perfections, but rather refers to a state where waste is eliminated, and also you have to consider the eliminated the waste and defects are reduced. It means ensuring the highest quality standards in projects, and also this will be means ensuring the highest quality standards in a projects also will be here. And what do we mean by zero defects? The from a literal standpoint, it's the pretty obvious that the attaining zero defects is technically not possible. Basically, the technically not possible during to this the zero defects. That like the literal standpoints, and obviously that attaining the zero defects is a technically not possible in any sizable or complex manufacturing project. And that like the any sizable or complex manufacturing project, there is the not more technically possible for this this any size of the zero defects will be come according to your the manufacturing projects. According to this Six Sigma standards, the definition of zero defect is defined as 3.4 defects per million opportunities. The defect per million opportunities, that like the DPMO, according to this the 3.4 defects, that like the defect is the minorly near to this the zero, that like the is defined as the 3.4 defects per million opportunities. The defects per million opportunities DPMO also will be found, and allowing for the a 1.5 sigma process shift, and like you have to consider according to this the 1.5 sigma process shift on the zero defects. The zero defects concepts should programmatically be viewed, that like the zero defects concept should the programmatically be viewed as a quest for perfections in order to improve the quality in the developments or manufacturing process also will be here. During to this the zero defect concept should the programmatically be viewed as quest for the perfections in order to improve the quality in the developments or the manufacturing process. The true perfections might not be achievable, but at least the quest will post quality and improvements to a point that is acceptable under even the most stringent metrics also will be here during to this. And another things also will be considered according to this the checkout or courses to on introductions to certified lean six sigma green belt certifications trainings also will be required during to this the zero defects on consideration will be here. And the zero defects, the theory and implementations also will be considered according to this the zero defects. The zero defects theory ensure that there is no waste existing in a projects, and basically that there is the ensure that there is no waste existing in a projects. Waste refers to all unproductive process also will be here. This is the unproductive process tools, employees and so on. Anything that is unproductive and does not add value to a project should be eliminated. And also the zero defects the theory ensure that there is no waste existing in a project. Waste refers to all unproductive process tools, employees and so on also will be considered. Anything that is unproductive and does not add value to a project should be eliminated, called the process of eliminations of waste also will be considered. Another things will be here, the eliminating waste creates a process, the eliminating waste create a process of improvements and correspondingly lower cost also will be here. During to this the eliminating waste create a process, improvements and correspondingly lower cost also will be here. And another things will be there, that like the common with the zero defects theory is the concept of doing it right the first times, and that like the common with the zero defects theory is the concept of doing it the right the first times to avoid costly and time consuming fees. This will be the avoid costly and the time consuming fees later in the project management process also will be here during to this the the zero defects theory and implementations and here. And when to use a control chart during to this, the zero defects theory is based on four elements for the implementation in the real projects. And basically one is the quality is a state of assurance to requirements, and that like the quality is the quality is a state of assurance to requirements. And therefore the zero defects in the a project means the fulfilling the requirements at that point in time. Here the quality is the another thing is that the write the first times, and also you have to write this the first times the quality should be integrated into the processes from the beginning rather than solving problems at the later stage. Also will be concentrated according to the write the first times. You have to always require to the quality should be integrated into the process from the beginning rather than solving the problems at the later stage. Also will be here. And another thing, the quality is measured the final terms. The quality this will be required to the measured in the financial terms. Also will be here. During to this the financial terms, the one needs to judge the waste production and revenue in terms of budgetary impacts. Also will be considered according to this the zero defects theory is the best of the four elements for implementation in the real projects. And another things, the performance should be judged by the accepted standards. That like the performance should be judged by the accepted standards as close to perfections as possible. Also will be calculated during to this the performance should be judged by the accepted standards as close to perfections as possible. And the zero defects pros and cons also will be considered according to this. The clear advantage of achieving a zero defects level is waste and cost reductions when the building products to a customer's specifications also will be required. The zero defects means the higher customer satisfaction and improved customer loyalty, with the invariability leads to better sales and profits. Also will be considered according to this the zero defects pros and cons. And this will be considered according to this the highly satisfied your customers. There is the no defects, that like the near to no defects will be comes during to this the customers, and also these customers will be fully satisfied, and also the improve the customer loyalty. This will be given some feedback also during to your the product to this the invariability leads, and this will be the better sales and profits also will be comes during the your company during to this the satisfied of your customers. And another things, the nonetheless a zero defects goal could lead to a scenario where a team is striving, and that this team is striving for a perfect process that cannot be realistically be met. And basically you have to consider the zero defects goal could lead to a scenario where a team is striving for a perfect process that cannot realistically be met. The time and resources dedicated to reaching zero defects may negatively impact performance and put a strain on employees' morale and satisfactions. Also will be required during to this the times and resources dedicatedly to reaching zero defects. The dedicatedly, not will be the casually you have to reaching this the zero defects. That like the you have to consider according to this the dedicatingly reaching the zero defects, that like the may negatively impact performance and put a strain on employee morale and satisfactions. There can also be negative implications when you consider the full supply chain with other manufacturers that might have the different definitions of the zero defects will become. That like the consider the full supply chain with the other manufacturers that might have the different definition of the zero defects. In that end, the quest for the zero defects is an admirable objective in itself. Also will be here, and most companies find that the pros outweighs the cons. Also will be here by striving for the stringent but accepted standards of the defects. Also will be considered according to this. zero defects, the companies can build better process, and these companies can build better process and create and the environment of continuous service improvements also will be considered according to this zero defects and the admirable objectives of this. To know more about the Six Sigma and the Six Sigma certifications and training available, the uh, simply learn, and also the certificate Lean Six Sigma Green Belt trainings also will be required during to this to know about to this the certification course also will be required. And what is the Six Sigma approach? The Six Sigma approach will be considered during to this. The Six Sigma is a set of technique and tools for process improvements. The Six Sigma is a set of techniques and tools for process improvements. It was introduced by American engineers Bill Smith while working at Motorola company in 1986. And just like these persons will be work at this the American engineers Bill the Smith with working at the Motorola in 1986. The Jack Wells made in it the central to his business strategy at General Electric in 1995. Basically, this is the made in central to his business strategy and in at a General Electric in the 1995. A Six Sigma process is on in which 99.99966% of all opportunities to produce some features of a part are statistically expected to be free of defects. Like this will be considered according to this. The Six Sigma process is on in which the 99.999966% of all opportunities to produce some features of a part are statistically expected to be free of defects. That like the always you have to concentrate to this the free of the defects. That like the Six Sigma defects per million. The Six Sigma, that means the 3.4 defects per million also will be concentrated according to this figure. We can see that like the Six Sigma, that like the positive Six Sigma or the negative Six Sigma also will be considered according to this. The defects will be comes from this the 3.4 defects per million. The also the value will be considered according to this the positive 2 sigma to the negative 2 sigma will be considered according to this the 95.96% also will be considered. And another thing is the minus 3 6 sigma to this the plus 3 6 sigma. This consideration will be comes from this the 99.7673 considerations will be coming from the defects. And another things will be there 1 sigma to this that minus 1 sigma. This will be considered just like the 68.26% defects will per million. Like the not will be 99%, but the 6 sigma positive 6 sigma to the negative 6 sigma, this will be considered according to this 99.99966% will be considered this like the feature of the part of the statistical expect for the period of defects will be come. Six Sigma strategies, the seek to improve the quality of the output of process by identifying and removing the causes and defects and minimizing impact variability in manufacturing and business process. Basically, these Six Sigma strategies seek to improve the quality of the output of a process by identifying and removing the causes of defect and minimizing impact variability in manufacturing and business process also will be here. Another thing is that it use a set of quality management. The uses of set of quality management method, mainly empirical statistical methods also will be considered, and creates a special infrastructure of people within the organizations who are experts in these methods. Just like the each Six Sigma projects carried out within an organization follows a defined sequence of steps and has specific value target. For example, reduces process cycle times, the reduce the populations, reduce the cost, the increase customer satisfaction and increase profit also will be comes during to this the Six Sigma strategic 6 to this the improve of quality of the output of the process. And the basically the this will be value of targets or and this will be considered according to the increase the customer satisfaction and also the increase to this the profits. Basically the this customer satisfaction and also like as the profits will be related to this the much more correlation during to these two things. The one is the customer satisfaction and according to this the increase the profits. The customers will be satisfied that your product will be launched your environments like the markets, and also this product will be stay in the markets, and also profits will become during to this the long term. And another thing, the term Six Sigma capitalized because it was written that was when registered as a Motorola trademark on December 28, 1993, originated from the terminology associated with statistical modeling and the manufacturing process. The maturity of a manufacturing process can be described by sigma ratings indicating its yield or the percentage of defect free products is creates the specifically to within how many standards deviations of a normal distributions of the fractions of defects free outcome corresponds the Motorola set a goal of Six Sigma for all of its manufacturing. And the basically the this will be coming from the within how many standard deviations of the normal distributions will be found, and also the fraction of defects free outcomes corresponds, and this will be given that this Motorola company set a goal of Six Sigma for all of its manufacturing units also will be here. And another thing, the Six Sigma doctrine assets also will be here, and this will be required to this the doctrine assets, the continuous efforts to achieve stable and predictable process results, and this will be required to this the continuous efforts to achieve as like as the stable and the predictable process, and this is the results, that is by the reducing process variations also will be here, are of vital importance to business success also will be considered according to the Six Sigma doctrine asserts also will be considered. According to this, the efforts to achieve stable and the predictable process results, that is by reducing the process variations, are of vital importance to business success also will be here. The manufacturing and business process have characteristics that can be defined. This will be business process and have characteristics that can be defined by this the manufacturing and the measured analyzed also will analyzed, and this will be measured as like as the analyzed here, and the improved and the controlled, and this will be considered according to this the improved and also the control of this the what is the business process, that like the characteristics and also the measured and the analysis, all things will be required to this the control by this the manufacturing. And another things, the achieving sustained, and this will be achieving sustained quality improvements required, and this will be the achieving sustained quality improvements requires the commitments from the entire organizations. This will be required to this the commitment from the entire organizations, particularly from the top level managements will be considered during to this. The features that the Six Sigma apart from previous quality improvements initiatives includes just like the feature that the Six Sigma apart from the previous quality improvements initiatives includes also here a clear focus on the achieving measurable and the quantifiable financial returns from the any Six Sigma projects also will be here. This like the clear focus and the achieving measurable and the quantifiable financial returns from the any Six Sigma projects here, and increase the emphasis on strong and fashion out management leaderships and the supports will be there, a clear commitment to making decisions on the basis of verifiable data and the statistical methods here. That like the clear commitments to making decisions on the basis of verifiable data and the statistical methods rather than assumptions and the guessworks. The term the Six Sigma comes from the statistics and is used in the statistical quality control, the which evaluates the process capability. Originally, it refers to the ability of manufacturing process to produce a very high proportions of the output within the specifications. Process that operates with Six Sigma quality over the short terms are assumed to produce long term defects level below the 3.4 defects per million. Opportunities like the DPMO is here. The short term assumed to this the produce to this the long term defects levels will be shown. And the another thing that 3.4 DPMO is based on a shift of plus minus 1.5 sigma explained 1.5 sigma explained by the Dr. Malek J. Hari. This figure is based on the tolerance in the high of a stack of digits, and the Six Sigma implicates the goal is to improve all process but not to the 3.4 DPMO level necessarily. The organizer needs to determine an appropriate sigma level for each of their most important process and strive to achieve this. As a result of this goal, it is incumbent on management of the organizations to prioritize areas of improvements. And the Six Sigma was registered June 11, 1991 as US service marks in the 1647704. In 2004, Motorola attributes over the US dollar 17 billion in savings to Six Sigma. And another things, the other early adapters of the Six Sigma included Honeywell and generally electrics were the Jack Wells introduced the methods by the late 1990s. About the two-thirds of the Fortune 500 organizations have begun the Six Sigma initiatives with the aim of reducing cost and the improving quality also will be considered. And the another things will be considered according to this the Lean Six Sigma concentrations. In recent year, some participants have combined Six Sigma ideas with the lean manufacturing to create a methodology named the Lean Six Sigma. The Lean Six Sigma methodology viewed the lean manufacturing which the addressing process flows and the waste issued, and the Six Sigma with its focus on variance and designs as complementary disciplines aimed at the promoting business and operational excellence also will be considered according to the Lean Six Sigma methodology. And basically this will be comes from the lean manufacturing units also will be considered according to the Lean Six Sigma. In 2011, the International Organizations for Standardizations ISO has published the first standards ISO 13053 to 2011 defining the a Six Sigma process. Other standards have been created mostly by universities or companies that have passed party party certifications program for Six Sigma approach. And the difference from the lean management and the lean management will be considered. Lean management and the Six Sigma are two concepts which share similar methodologies and tools. The both programs are Japanese influenced, but they are two different programs will become. The one is the lean management is focused on eliminating waste using a set of proven standardized tools, and standardized tools and methodology also will be concentrated according to this the lean management. This will be the focused and the eliminating the waste, focused and eliminating this lean management is focused and eliminating waste using a set of proven standardized tools and methodologies. That is the target of the organization's efficiencies, while the integrating a performance involvements or the improvements the systems utilized by everyone. And the while the Six Sigma is focused is on eliminating defects and reducing various also will be here. And the basically the this will be everyone when the Six Sigma is focused is on estimating defects and the reducing variance. The both system was driven by data, and the all are required for this the data. Both systems the which one will be the fully concentrate according to this the data, and again the are driven through the Six Sigma is much more dependent on the accurate data. And the during to this the accurate data you have to provide to your the customers, then your customers is the fully satisfied according to your the providing data. And for this this system are driven by data through Six Sigma is much more dependent on the accurate data. And next class can discuss the quality management systems, friends. Thank you.